Welcome back to the channel, guys. Now we are up for another project as always. So what I'm gonna attempt to make is a wheel jack. Now, what is a wheel jack? So if you ever change the wheels on your car, or you want to rotate the wheels, and some of the wheels are super heavy, you know, some can get up to 100 pounds per wheel, and they're very difficult to raise, move, and all that stuff. And in order to save my own back, I am going to make a product, I should say, or a tool that I could move around the garage, pick up the wheel, align it with the lug nuts so I could put the wheel back in instead of struggling, picking it up, putting strain on my back, hurting myself, hurting, other people hurting their own back and whatnot. Make it easier for people to actually raise up the tire, align it with the lug nuts, push it in, put the lug nuts in, move the wheel jack away, and basically do it with ease and without hurting ourselves. So what I have here is a trailer jack. Now this is a really big one. I don't know why I picked this one. It's square. I wanted something square. It just makes it easier for welding and whatnot. So I am going to make, this is the idea in my head, so I don't know if it's gonna come to fruition or not, but I can't say it didn't work until I try it, right? So what's gonna happen is somewhere around this area, these rollers will be sitting like so. This is where the wheel is gonna sit. So this is gonna give us an easy way to rotate the wheel as we are pushing it to the wheel base, so we can align the holes and the screws can go in. So this is an attempt. I don't know if it's gonna be a failure. I don't know if it's gonna be a success, but I got this massive jack. It's gonna have a wheel base on caster wheels, something like this, so it could easily slide under the tires, and these will basically attach to the tire as this raises up, so it could basically pick the tire up, move it out, bring it down, and that should be it, right? So we'll see if this is going to work out. So let's do it. Let's get started. There's going to be some welding going on, and I hope this works. So let's do it. First thing I'm going to do is take out this pin. What happens is this big huge base comes out, right? Now this is a 2-inch piece of steel. Initially I was gonna use it, but this is just way too much stuff. I'm not gonna need this much stuff, and I don't want it to be too bulky. So I'm not gonna use this right now. I may use it later for something else. So we're gonna put this aside. What I'm gonna use first is the base. For the base, something like this. It's gonna sit here, and it's gonna have two other pieces coming out this way. And just to give you an example, it's gonna be something like this. It's gonna come out this way, and the caster wheels are gonna be attached here and here. This basically gives this a support so it doesn't lean forward when I raise the tire up. Now the second piece is gonna be here, something like this, and the forks are gonna come out like this. This is where the rollers will sit. I don't know how close I want the rollers. These are 10-inch rollers, so this is perfect for almost any wheel that you want to use. So because the wheels will sit on the roller, it will not touch the walls at all. So it'll be, if I have it close by, it'll be fine. So there's some measurements gonna go on, but the first thing I'm gonna do is clean all these off, all the paint off of this, because do some measurements and start welding, and we'll go from there, right? Let's do that. So stay tuned. Okay, even though I forgot to turn the gas on, the welds hold. They're actually pretty good. I grind it down, so we are good. Now I'm gonna tack in the wheels in place before I do a full weld on them, because you know these are very thin metal. So just tack what we'll do. Biggest fail, guys. It does not fit. It's too short. I thought I had the numbers right. I'm gonna cut this out. I'm gonna make this one about 4 inches longer. So let me do that. I'll be right back. Alright, this is moment of truth. I'm gonna weld this to the base now. I'm a little scared, terrified, I don't know. We'll see. Good thing is, metal is like wood. If you screw up, you can fix it to a certain point. So everything's straight, gas is on. Gloves are on. Let's tackle this baby in. All right. I'm gonna put a tack right here too. Do you think it'll hold if I stand it up? I don't know. I hope it holds, because this thing is pretty heavy, and what's gonna happen is this is actually gonna tilt back like so, which is okay, because I'm actually gonna put a fifth wheel. There's gonna be a fifth wheel option. Let me put this on the ground. I want to see what it looks like. Alright, so this is very heavy. Okay. So I definitely need some sort of wheel in the back as well for this to stay up this way. But as soon as the wheel is loaded, oh crap. I just realized I welded the wrong side. Stupid! Good thing I just tack welded. Alright, let me fix that and be right back. Alright, problem solved. But this is what happens when we make mistakes. Alright, so it definitely will need a fifth wheel, because again, this thing is super heavy, this little jack. So I will put a wheel in the bottom to actually give it a little balance control, so it doesn't tip over. So that's an easy fix. It's not a problem. Now we're gonna have to put the fork on here for the, I'm gonna finish the weld right there. Then I'm gonna lower this black piece down, and then I'm gonna measure, see how wide of a bore I will need for the actual tire lift contraption. So let's do that. All right, quick update. Put the rollers on. I also add this fifth wheel here. It's a little bit bigger than these ones, so I had to put a base down here, welded it in, and it's in. So now we're going to do a test to see if this actually will hold it and prevent it from tipping over. I hope it does. I don't know if it will, but you know, it's worth a try. Yes, it works. Look at this. That's beautiful. Sweet. This is sweet. So what it goes now is, because the size is my TV, I may have to do a slight modification, because this is way too wide for a regular car. I may do a adjustable bar here type of thing, but one step at a time. I have to test this out, make sure this actually works, if these arms can actually hold the weight, the wheels can hold the weight of the wheel. It should, but if that works, then I could figure out an adjustable arm for the rollers to actually roll in and roll out, to adjust to the wheel size of different cars, not to be just made for a single car. So I may have to cut this out, I may not, I don't know. I may have to figure out a different mechanism, something that slides in. I may do that, so these actually slide into here and lock in place, make a bunch of holes in here, so these actually slide into this bar right there, and that way I could adjust this to the actual wheel. So I may come up with something for that. So that's gonna require some thinking. So let me think about that. Let me first try this out, see if I actually can hold the weight of a wheel. Once that's settled, actually I may be able to do that now by putting a piece of plywood here, and this is a 50-pound abrasive sand. Okay, it works. I'm gonna make it 100. Why not, right? If you're doing a strength test, why not do 100? So here's 100 pounds. It moves around. I'm not worried about the jack itself, because that's rated for 2,500 pounds. I just want to see how this looks lifted. I want to see if it's tilting forward, if it's leaning forward. And it's not hard to actually lift this up. I don't even have a handle on this thing right now. But if you can tell, this is not leaning back anymore because all the weight is in the front now. So Let me zoom out a little bit for you guys. There we go. So I have I have tiles in my shed, so but this thing moves very easily. I don't have a hard time as pushing it at all. These caster wheels are holding up 100 pounds at this point, to include the weight of the whole thing. So I would say about 140 pounds. It's on the casters right now. But let's see how high I could take this. I want to max it out. There's a lot of something just fell. I don't know what it was. Alright, we're gonna take this up to the max. Alright, so this is the max. Let me bring a measuring tape. Let's see how high we are. I want to see if anything's bowing out. Nothing is bowing out, at least. Everything seems to be holding. We are about a little bit over 18 inches off the ground. So if you want to calculate from the top of the roller, we're almost at 18 and a half inches. So we're 18 and a half inches up at 100 pounds. This is great. It's holding just fine. The caster seems to be holding just fine. Do I want to use bigger casters? Maybe, but I mean, these small ones seems to just do the job. Again, 100 pounds, it's a little excessive. I'm not dealing with semi trucks wheels. These are just for regular cars. Regular car wheels, they're about 60 pounds. You know, just the regular SUVs, the sedans, they're even lighter. But when you go to like Jeep and all the stuff, you know, the bigger the tire, the heavier it gets. But I mean, it's holding up 100 pounds just fine without an issue. I don't see anything bowing. Let me look from the back. Let me see if anything is tilting down. I don't see anything tilting down. Yeah, seems to be leveled. So it worked. It worked. I just have to figure out the rollers and make them adjustable. put some sort of sleeve over it so it could slide in and out of the arm. So I think I'm gonna do that next. That will make it more versatile for other cars. So, but first let's try with the SUV. Let's see if it actually picks up the tires and all that stuff, and we'll go from there. So let's do it. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you guys, this is for the Xterra wheels. So as you can see, there's a good short distance between each wheel, and the purpose is so we could lower this down to the floor, and then while it's up basically, so we're going to raise this up. We have to raise it up quite a bit. So that's why I want to make this adjustable, as I mentioned earlier. And I want to make this part, I want to make this removable. Same thing with this. I just don't know how that's going to affect the structural of this. Only reason I'm doing that is basically to make it, basically collapse it down if I'm not using it often. And another reason I want to make it adjustable, I'm going to show you guys why. So this is for big tires. So when I put this under the wheels of the Vette, look at that, it's literally touching the frame. So what I want is when the car is up, I want to be able to slide this down up to here at least, lock it in, and same thing with this, slide it down here and lock it in. So this way the rollers are not hitting the chassis or anything, interrupting or whatever it is. So I'm gonna have to do some cutting again. I have to cut this out, I have to cut this part out, put another piece here so I could place it in to a sleeve, put a pin in there, and make sure the wheel's there, and then figure out a way to make this arm also removable but also sturdy enough to be able to hold 100 pounds minimum. So back to the drawing board, I guess. I'm gonna cut these out and I'll come back with what I'm gonna be doing or how it's gonna look. So let's do it. All right guys, so after lots of welding and cutting, this is what I came up with. This is actually adjustable, comes in and out like so. There's gonna be a hole right here to keep it in place. I'll put a pin in there. I just want to show you guys. This is screwed in, and actually this whole thing just pops out like so, and there's a safety pin that will go in here to hold it in place. And again, I put a fifth wheel in the back so it'll prevent it from topple, like, you know, it could just sit like this, but I'm actually happy with it. This will, I need to tighten out, so it's still a little loose. I haven't tightened it down yet. So let me take it to the Corvette. Let me see how that actually looks. Let me bring this down. And let's go for a test drive and see how this works. All right, we're gonna try it for the Xterra first. The Xterra is gonna be basically fully, there you go. So that actually fits. I'll make adjustments as I use it towards to different cars. I'll mark it and punch the holes, but I haven't fully welded this in yet, so I'm just testing it. But it's not where it sits like so. You have access to the lug nuts from all angles except the top and bottom, but all we need is the first one, or just to put the tire in. That's all we need to do, so we don't really need to access the lug nuts for now. But let's take it to the vet. All right. Okay, perfect. This actually looks great. Actually, if I need to move this down a little bit, move this guy out a little bit. That's perfect. So that's a good fit. Again, it's I need to clean the inside. There's a lot of metal right here that I need to sand down, so it's kind of sticking. So once I clean this out, this will actually move in a lot smoother than how it's moving now. So I'm gonna go finish welding this up. Actually, I need to weld both of them up, clean it up, and then come back and do another test. But yeah, so these are removable. If I ended up putting these up for sale, it's good for packaging, and you know, so this way I don't have to, you know, deal with like big packaging and all that stuff. So let me go finish this up, then we'll be right back. All right, got the tire off. This thing, it's always giving me a problem to get this thing off. So now, let's see if this thing will work. And look at that. This thing free spins. Now let's try to put it back in. Huh. It worked. Can't believe it worked. This is so cool. Let's try this again. Oh, this chain is getting stuck. That's why. All right, so now the whole point is we bring this down, and of course I'm gonna change this and hook it up to a drill so I don't have to keep doing this. But the point is to drop this down like so, and freely move it around. And then, when I want to put it back in, slide this in, crank it up. Slide in. Twist. Go too high. And boom, you can keep it here. You can keep it at that position. Put one or two of the lug nuts in. And it's perfectly centered, so I don't have to do anything, to be honest with you. A little bit tight right there. That. Lower this down. Pull it out. Put the rest of the lug nuts in, and we should be good to go. All right, job is finalized. It works. It does need some minor tweaks, but you know it's expected with anything that brand new to the mind, right? As you guys already saw, I already modified the finished product to the custom DIY that paint job. Also, everything's removable. This is removable. The long arms removable. The rollers are removable. The only thing that's a complete set is the bottom piece with the rollers and a little attachment at the bottom. But what we wanted was be able to lift the tire up off the car, bring it down to the ground without lifting the actual tire using your back and your knees. I just happen to have a knee injury. My knee's swollen for some odd reason. I have no idea. So this actually would have been helpful when I was rotating tires. Now, this actually goes up, as we measured, about 18 inches off the ground. So for those cars that are sitting a little bit higher than the normal car, this will be perfect. Now the question comes here. Would anybody be willing to pay for something like this? Would any shop be willing to pay for something like this? Obviously, the materials I use will not going to be the materials for the final product. If somebody decides to place an order for the tire jack itself, but I would imagine places like Costco that do tire rotations or like Tire Works and stuff like that, this will be a perfect setup for them. This way they don't have to keep lifting the tires up, putting strain on their employees' back. This will actually add to their worker safety. I just don't know what would be the price point for this thing. With the cost of steel being so high and the amount of modification it might or might not need down the line, or this is just speculation, guys. I haven't signed anything. I don't know if anybody actually really cares for this thing or actually wants it. But if you know anybody that would actually benefit from it, share this video with them. See if they would like something like this in their shop, or if they have a big shop and they do a lot of tire rotations or whatnot. But for general use at home as well, there's a lot of people that have back problems that want to work on their cars, but they don't have the strength to lift up these heavy tires. As we tested, it can handle up to, I did 100 pounds. It can potentially handle more. I just didn't want to risk it because of the casters I have on this. They're not heavy duty. They're not fully heavy duty. They're light duty, but they can handle up to 100 pounds of weight without falling apart. But then again, I don't know if it can handle 200 pounds. So I haven't tested that out yet. And if people want something more heavy duty, I would choose different casters for this setup. And I already know what I'm going to use for the next setup. If anybody wants it, I might actually change it myself and put the new casters in that are heavier duty casters. But then again, I don't know what the weight limit is on this. I have not done in extensive testing. This is just something that popped in my head and I figured I want to make it. But it works. As I mentioned, I will be changing this handbar to something that I could attach a drill to it. So it will have a drill bit connector, not a drill bit, yeah. So I could actually connect the drill to this end of the stem. So I don't know if I'm gonna make a whole new stem or cut this out, extend it out. I don't know. You know, again, it's in my head, and once I execute it, then you know it'll be more visible and you know doable. The weld job on this is crap, absolutely crap. But again, the steel I'm using is a very thin steel. It's not too thick, so any type of weld I've done with this steel, it just burns the hell out of this steel. So I don't know if it's a cheap steel. I don't know. Maybe I'm probably doing something wrong anyways. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you like this video and you know somebody will benefit from this video, please share this video with your friends or family and hit that like button. I appreciate everybody watching this show, and I hope you guys can tell me where I have gone wrong at any part of any of my videos that I make. So I highly appreciate any criticism you could give me. So with that, enjoy your holidays, guys. Have fun with your family, with your friends, and until the next project. Peace out.